Solo Leveling and a lot of other anime focuses on a main character and a cast underestimating their abilities. You don't see this just in anime though, but everything, TV shows, movies, and in real life. This is a formula that works because it taps into our psychological need to flex and show off to everyone. If and when you do become successful, it is not a matter of how humble you are, but when you are going to make a person feel inferior, because no matter what, people will be envious of what you have, and the best way to not seem braggadocious is to act humble. It requires an underestimation of your skills, only then to show off. And 2 points are learned from this fact. Number 1, be humble. The advice is not meant to save you from embarrassment, because realistically, no one cares about that one person over talking big about themselves. I'm so awesome, I'm so handsome. We can clearly tell you're not. It's meant for the people better than us, because nobody wants to feel inferior to another person. That is why characters in movies, TV shows, and in real life are hated. They don't follow the social norm of pretending they're incompetent. They wear the competency on their sleeves. The best way to create enemies is to make other people feel less than you. Number 2, we like to brag, compare, constantly flex homeless fashion. Everything in our culture is integrated in the idea of bragging that I don't brag. And what you have to fundamentally realize is that we also like to brag. The climax of a lot of these animes is the reveal at how amazing and awesome our generic black-haired main character is, which by the way is purposely designed to be as generic as possible so the Asian audience could relate to them. So the reveal feels all the more powerful for the audience, and obviously you don't have to look Asian. A lot of people feel the association because we've watched so many episodes. These characters underestimated me, and if a show is good, it blurs the line between these feelings of satisfaction, as if you have earned what the character did because you were there along their journey. Part 2. Being successful, braggadocious is not the problem, but the way it is communicated. Social skills are very hard, and if you communicate too fast or too slow, you would have missed the opportunity. And the easiest option people will choose to do is nothing. That is why all forms of advice recommend to be humble, or else you might embarrass yourself. Follow the rules, or else you will get punished. You are not encouraged to do something that requires risk. The problem with this form of advice that comes from a moral of a story is not how true or useful it is, but how it makes us feel. And it correlates to the satisfaction of watching this guy pretend to be a janitor, and then he impresses all these naked, tanned half men. It is under the idea of never underestimate people, but it is not the lesson of now to overestimate everyone. You become paranoid. Let's say I give someone more credit than what they deserve. What is the result of that? I save myself of the embarrassment. I could have the moment where I told you so. I told you they were more important than what they let off, but that's it. You only receive bragging rights, which feels good, but it's for some random person. And wouldn't you rather brag that you believed in yourself when no one else did, but instead you do this for another person? Part 3. Be more braggadocious, douchey, but keep it in secret. At some point in our lives, you will have the decision of whether you want to be successful or not, and confront your doubts of whether you want to succeed or not. And the big deciding factor is the faith between what you have in yourself and your peers. A little irrelevant, but my cousin dropped out at 19 to sell car parts from China, and everyone, including myself, thought that you're dumb as hell. Why are you doing that? He's now 22 and he makes around $1 million a month in revenue. Holy shit, that's crazy. And his life would have never happened if he overestimated what people thought and told him, because the insurmountable doubt from himself, his peers, would push him back to school, follow the treaded path with a guaranteed result, which, by the way, is not bad. But he could have missed this opportunity like a lot of people have missed for themselves because they chose to do nothing under the guise of No, I'm working hard. I'm going to college. I'm going to do this, and that. When they themselves are not deciding but letting other people decide for themselves. Doing nothing is not literally doing nothing, but deciding not for yourself, but letting people do it for you. This does not mean listening to other people is bad, going to college is bad, but people forget that we follow rules, listen to others, not for them, but because of the social repercussions put on us. And a lot of misinterpretation occurs in the advice of be humble. But that doesn't mean you think humbly. It is just a social contract people like to follow. Like holding the door for someone, you need to be arrogant and overestimate what you're capable of, enough to believe you can be one of the greats. Timothée Chalamet and his speech was controversial because he wasn't supposed to do that. You're not supposed to think what you actually believe in. You're supposed to play the game of thank you everyone, thank you to all the people that put me on this podium. No, look at Solo Leveling. The main character thinks he's better than everyone else, and that allows him to do all the aura farming moments. And remember, we like to brag. Everything about our culture is part of being braggadocious. Oh, you use iPhones? Oh, you wearing those type of clothes? Everything you do is related to your identity and how it defines you and how much you're better than another person. So there's no part of us trying to pretend we are better than what we are not. We like to brag, and how you brag is very important. We are not above the social consequences, so the advice of be humble is really to surprise everyone, to maximize your efficiency when you do finally brag. Like, subscribe, eyebrow product, 10% off, toodly-doo.